Hey folks, welcome to John Gillespie's Waters and Woods. We're on the Mississippi River chasing bluegills.
Fleet Farm presents John Gillespie's Waters and Woods. Fleet Farm, the ultimate fishing headquarters.
Yes folks, today is July the 27th and we're up on the Mississippi River with our resident river rat. Can I call you that, Vince?
Yeah, you can probably get away with calling
Okay,
me that.
sounds good. You know, a lot of times you and I come up to the Mississippi River and we fish walleyes or perch, but people don't realize you have an awesome bluegill population up here.
Awesome. There are so many bluegills out here, John, and a lot of big ones.
And it's a lot of fun, and you can really catch numbers.
Yeah, you can catch numbers and great size on them too, and nothing beats going out and killing worms for a day.
But in addition to the bluegills, you know, we'll try some other things, but that's really what we're after today.
Yeah, we're going to try and put a hurting on some big gills, and then we'll mess around and get some other stuff.
Well, that's some fun, right?
Oh yeah, it's going to be
Hey
a great
folks,
day.
yeah, it will be. Hey folks, so show what you're using and how we're using it. All of that coming up right after this.
Your garage floor doesn't have to look like this. You can make it a beautiful extension of your home with Premier Floor Coating Solutions. They have decades of experience in both commercial and residential, so you'll get industrial strength and long-lasting beauty for your home. Relentless quality from the ground up. Learn more at premierfloorcoating.com.
It's time to save big during the Yamaha Let's Ride sales event. With rates as low as 3.99 APR for 36 months on every single Yamaha motorcycle, ATV, and side-by-side. So visit your local Yamaha dealer today to save. Then, let's ride.
Standing here by a boat with Len Groom from AMSOIL, and Len, this HP Marine two-stroke oil, one thing I noticed when I switched, smoke, smell went away right away. Why is that?
Two-stroke oils are not all created equal, and when you talk about HP Marine, it is built specifically for use in the water. The temperatures are cooler, the engine doesn't get as hot. You have to formulate for that to make sure that you're not going to get deposits, right? And deposits create all kinds of problems, from horsepower loss to smoke and those kinds of things. So you have to make sure that you have all that under control. It's been built specifically, like I said, for the water.
Check out the marine products at amsoil.com.
Hey, welcome back, folks. As we talked about, we're going to do some fishing for big bull bluegills on the Mississippi River today. And Vince, I'm used to using a bobber and just casting up toward shore. You got a different system.
Yeah, so out here, just because we have the current, John, we have a little different technique we use for them.
Okay, now, this is a drop shot.
Correct.
And you want to kind of explain what this is?
Yeah, so we've just got the sinker down here. These don't even tie on, they just pinch into the line, so we can swap out different sizes, adjust how deep it's set, and then tied 6-8 inches above it, just a hook with a worm.
And how does the bite feel? Just like a tap?
Yep, just that regular tap of the bluegill, and set the hook when you feel it.
Really? And so no bobbers today, we're going with the drop shot.
Yep, we're gonna use these all day long. Here we go, John.
There we go. That's the way to start us off. Now that is a beautiful bluegill right there. How big do you think that one is?
He's probably 8, maybe a little bigger.
Yeah, that's
nice
impressive.
bold bluegill.
So what do you look for when you're doing this? Is it the wing dam situation here?
Yeah, so in summertime we're looking for wing dams or rock piles, and these bluegills are, most of the time they're right on top. Sometimes when it gets real hot and sunny, they're gonna slide off one side or the other, but they're pretty easy to find.
So folks that aren't familiar with a wing dam, what is a wing dam?
So a wing dam is a man-made rock pile. The Corps of Engineers installed them on the river And they're just in here to direct the current out towards the main shipping lane of the river.
Yeah, if you take a look behind us there, where that water is a little disturbed or little riffles out there, that is actually the wing dam right there.
Yep, so that water's hitting that wing dam and it's boiling up just a little bit, and that's what you can see on the water here.
And you cast right up to that.
Yep, right up to that, right on top of the rocks.
You know, I've missed as many as you've caught,
Yeah.
So, yeah, you let the sinker go down, it hits the bottom, you gave it a little bit of a wiggle, and how long do you let them go? Because I've missed like 5.
Every day is a little different. It seems like today you kind of got to let them tap it a few times and then set the hook on them, but they're definitely biting. They're there.
How delicious are these?
Oh, these are great. There's nothing better than a fried bluegill.
Yeah, right. And in the old days, we didn't fillet them. We would cut the heads off and scale them and take the guts out. And
Yep.
I'll tell you what, you fry those with a little flour on them. The tails I like.
Oh, yeah. That's how I grew up eating them.
Yeah.
Same way. Here we go.
I'm getting really frustrated watching you, Vince. I really am. Look at
That's a
that.
nice
Now
one.
that's about a 7.5, 8 right there.
Yeah,
Hold 'em
real
steady
close
in
to
your
8.
palm.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is, if clients come, what I like about this is you can get your limit of fish, your bluegills, pretty easy every day, right?
Yeah, this time of year, I hate to say real easy, but it's not super tough.
Okay, and then, you get your limit of bluegills, you can try for other species too?
Yeah, we can go for walleye, bass, perch, whatever, mix it up. This feels like another good one.
Well, you know what I'm going to do since I can't catch them with the feel? I'm going to put would a bobber work?
I think a bobber will work.
Ooh,
here,
look at
John.
that.
Yeah,
Just gorgeous, average sized fish.
that's a beautiful one.
And, a bobber will work though, I can try that.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to fish with it more because it's gonna drift over the wing dam, so then you'll have to reel it in cast. With this, we can leave it planted right where they are, but that presentation
I never
will
do
work.
what the guide tells me. I got to try different things. Well, I put my bobber on, Vince. I'm going to see if that works. Ooh,
Might be
there's a
switching back
dandy
soon.
right there. And you know what else is interesting about these Mississippi River bluegills is the width on them. They're really built nicely, aren't
Oh
they?
yeah, they're really thick. They live in this current. They're big and strong.
Hey, the bobber does work. The bobber does work. And that's actually probably not quite big enough to film, folks, but that is certainly big enough to clean. And I'm just using a little Kalen's jig with the worm on it there. But that bobber worked. I mean, it went down pretty good.
It did. That got hit hard.
Yeah. This is just a perfect guide trip for people that aren't real experienced fishermen too, right?
Oh yeah. It doesn't take a lot of experience to learn how to do this, John. In a half-day trip, we can teach you everything you need to know about doing this.
And do like a lot of dads bring their sons and daughters out for this too?
Yeah, this is great for kids. You're going to get a lot of bites. You can miss fish all day long. It doesn't matter. You're going to put plenty in the boat.
Folks, earlier Vince showed us the drop shot rig that he's using, but the hook is really important when you're doing this type of fishing. And this is a gold Eagle Claw Aberdeen hook. And there's a couple of reasons, Vince, that you like the Eagle Claw Aberdeen hook. What are the reasons?
So I like the gold hook for a couple reasons, John. First one is the color. We're in stained water, so that gold has a little bit of flash down there for them. Second one is they're super sharp hooks. You get that quick bite, even if it's a short bite, you get the hook in them, it's gonna stick. Third reason is we're fishing rocks and snags a lot. You can bend those hooks, get it out of the snag, bend the hook back, put the bend in the hook, and good to go again. And they're the only hook still made in America.
Eagle Claws? Yeah.
Yep.
What do you got now?
I think it's a walleye.
Seriously?
It's not a bluegill.
Walleye when we're bluegill fishing? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Nice eater. See if I can flip him.
No, that's a 16-incher right there, buddy. And so when you're doing this bluegill fishing, you get a lot of different species too, huh?
Yeah, you'll get a little bit of everything out here. We actually get these walleyes fairly often doing this. They eat worms too.
I got my bobber working now. And you know what the key was, Vince? Let's see how big this guy is. Oh, yeah, there. Now that is a beautiful bluegill right there. I think the difference was figuring out how deep to set the bobber, because these fish are really relating close to the bottom, right?
Yeah, a matter of inches could be the difference.
So yeah, I got this one set just right. Now that's a solid 8, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's over 8, John, and he's thick.
Yeah, look at that. See, you moved to this side of the boat and you still catch them. I went back to using no bobber because you're just getting a ton of bites. But I think it's important to explain how you're retrieving this. You know, you're just kind of slowly bringing it over the rocks.
Yeah, so I just kind of slowly pull that weight over the rocks and stop every couple feet, and I'll just move my rod tip side to side to make the tail of that worm move around. And
Okay, so maybe I'm going too fast.
could be, and every day is a little different. They want a different speed and cadence.
Breaking news from Fleet Farm. Check out this deal. Save $30 on the Stealth Cam wireless trail camera with video, on sale for $129.99.
2 in a row on the bobber.
The bobber's getting hot.
Yeah. Oh, and I'll tell you what, folks,
Oh, yeah.
these bluegills fight too. And I can't tell you enough. If you want to list the type of fish to eat, you got one on too?
Yep.
The bluegill is on the top of the list along with perch. I mean, they are just so good. And let's see yours there.
Not as big as yours,
Not as
John,
big?
but nice one.
I mean, and this is so easy. And boy, are these fish warm to the touch. You got pretty warm water on the Mississippi.
Yeah, the
right
water's
now.
about 80 right now.
It is about 80.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, this is fun, folks. Woo! The coloring on these fish is just gorgeous too. Now, that one is
That's an 8.
That's an 8-incher right there.
All day.
And I think one of the keys too is leaving that worm, you know, hook it on, but leave a big piece hanging out like that for the action.
Yeah, you got to have a little bit hanging so it moves around.
You got one on here?
Yep.
I just missed 2 in a row.
They're definitely biting a little weird right now. I missed a few too.
Another nice one. Hey, one thing, go over this again now. The limits here, and it's different here than most places in Wisconsin or Minnesota. So you can keep 15 bluegills a day, right?
Correct.
And you can keep 15 perch a day, right?
Yep.
And 15 crappies a day.
Correct.
So you can actually catch 45 panfish.
If you really went crazy, you could have a lot of panfish.
Yeah, and you know, the 15 of those is plenty for a meal.
Yeah,
right?
you get a lot of meat off of these. They're really thick.
Here we go. Oh, this wasn't, it's not that big, but I want the folks to take a look at the colors of these fish. And I want to mention, folks, we come up here, Vince has an airboat that he uses for ice fishing in the wintertime. And you get back into a lot of these sloughs, and we just catch the big bluegills and perch like crazy, don't we?
Yeah, it's crazy in winter. All these fish that are out here in the river channel, they back up into the sloughs, and you can have some awesome days sitting on top of them.
You got another one?
Yeah, slowed down for a bit. Now we're getting some bites.
Well, I'll tell you what, these fish, you know, when you get those hot, you know, 80, 90 degree days, do these fish still go?
They do. They'll move off the top of the rocks in the middle of the day when it gets super hot and whatnot, but they're always around the rocks. They're not leaving them all
I
together.
think that's the beauty of river fishing. When you get in those dog days of August, when lakes are tough, the rivers always produce, don't they?
There's always something you can make eat in the river.
We were fishing the Mississippi River in La Crosse, Wisconsin, a 3.5-hour drive from Milwaukee, 4.5 hours from Chicago, and 2 hours from Minneapolis.
Folks, if you fish, you know how expensive live bait is, especially minnows, and that's twice the case up here in Canada. So it's important for you to keep your bait alive and healthy. So what do you got?
The Johnson Pump cartridge series for their aeration. It's super dependable, super reliable, and it, as you can see, it's pumping tons of oxygen in the live well. And another thing that you didn't touch on is, you know, as a tournament angler, we need a live well system that we can count on to get our fish to weigh in.
Go to johnsonpumpmarine.com for more information.
What's the difference between a good net and a great net? Simple. It's all in the features. Fortis nets by Clam Outdoors are tough, safe on fish, easy to use, and a telescoping handle. Learn more about Fortis nets at clamoutdoors.com.
The best anglers know that there's always more out there. So they're always looking for an edge. And when they hook up with us, they find it. The most advanced motors, shallow water anchors, and more. Now even more powerful and capable when you connect them with your Humminbird. When you fish with us, you fish for more.
Ooh, let's see. Now there's another. I can't believe the average size that we have caught. Okay, now we said we'll catch one more big one and let's go try something else. And the neat thing is there's a number of wing dams that you fish. It's not just this spot.
Right? Yeah, you can go to a lot of different wing dams this time of year and catch these big bluegills.
And here's one too, but this one is not like yours, but
it looks okay.
There, let's hold these up together again here. Yeah, hold them up together. Those are two beautiful fish.
Oop.
But yeah, if folks want to come out and they want to fish fry and have some fun and bring the kids, I think this is a great trip. And again, they can do a half a day for this?
Yep, half day or a full day, and we do them both.
Well, the bluegills were easy.
Yeah, they were.
That's a lot of fun. But we're going to switch to walleyes now, and this, you really love this new Pendu jig. And what do you like about it, Vince?
I love how when that jig head's resting on bottom, John, that bait's going to stand up like that, and then the tail of that bait can move in the water, and the fish are going to see that and key in on it.
Okay, so the fact that it swivels up like that, your bait sticks up off the bottom like that.
Yep, instead of having your bait dragging through the bottom where they're not really going to see it, smell it, anything.
And again, that's called what?
The
Pendu jig. You need the net?
I think so.
Oh, here, let me
help you,
If it's the right
kind.
Okay, let's see here. Let's see what we got here before I get up. And
I think it's a sheephead.
Ooh.
Oh, it's a cat. I can flip him.
Now, so on these wing dams, when you're walleye fishing, you catch anything, right?
Yeah, you kind of run into all kinds of stuff out here.
What do you got now, buddy?
I'm hoping it's a walleye this time.
This is such a relaxing way to fish, too.
It feels like it.
Net hand.
Yeah, that's a nice walleye.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like an 18.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah. There you go.
There we go.
See, that's so cool, man. Catching the bluegills in the morning and then switching gears and doing a little walleye fishing. And these are good eaters, too.
Yeah.
You know, people wonder about the Mississippi River walleyes. They're one of my favorites.
They taste great, and that's the perfect size right there. He's like 15 and a half. That's illegal.
Ooh, look at this. Yeah. Here he comes. Ooh, there's a nice walleye.
Yeah.
I'll kind of lift him in with the net underneath him because I'm using a Castmaster there. But look at that's a beautiful walleye. And you were telling me, you know, obviously when we talked earlier, the nightcrawler's the key bait, but why not throw a Castmaster, right?
Yeah, and when I was just telling you a week ago, we were really doing well out here on the Castmasters, and that's even bigger than the last one.
And this Castmaster is kind of a misunderstood bait. You know, a lot of people just think you throw them out and reel them in, but you like to let them go to the bottom and just lift your rod and let it flutter down?
Yep, exactly how I like to use them out here. And that current does a great job of not letting it crash to bottom, but kind of flutter around on its way down.
Yeah, boy, that's a real pretty walleye, and they're beautifully colored up here too, aren't they? Ooh, that's a nice one. These are just, whoa, look at
I
this.
can flip them.
Okay, just nice eater-sized walleyes.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the neat thing is you get these dog days of summer like this. In August, you know, you can get a lot of those 88, 90-degree days. The fish on the river always seem to bite through those hot spells, don't they?
Yeah, there's always a way to make them bite through those hot spells.
And what about that? You like that Pendu jig, huh?
I do. I'm liking it a lot, John.
You know when you're using minnows on that thing, the minnows kind of tilted up like that, and it looks like it's feeding on the bottom, and fish love it.
I can't wait to use some this fall in the cold water.
That's a beautiful walleye.
Yeah.
Now the timetable for the rest of the year and into fall, you've actually got a really good night walleye bite in September, October.
Yep, late September. Early October, kind of when that water temp starts dropping down into the 50s. We'll be out there every night catching these, and nighttime is a great time for numbers and big ones.
Yeah, you get big ones.
Yeah, we
too,
do.
Right?
Yep.
Johnsonville, they're so sincerely interested in you becoming the best person you can possibly be.
I started Johnsonville as a temp. When you first start a company, you still don't know much about the company. So when you actually learn what the job about and how much it means to the company, how much they care for their employees, it's kind of make you want to wow, this company you want to be at.
Well, we got to be honest, the walleye fishing kind of slowed down, and that's an early morning deal, so we went back to the bluegills to finish up, right?
Yep. We should have no problem getting these.
So for the walleye bite in the summer, the early morning, late afternoon is much better.
The early and late times are better, and we caught, what, 4 or 5?
4, yeah, right. And that was fun, but no, I want to take home a little bit of a fish fry, and that's another thing I want to mention. Folks come with you, they're more than likely to go home with some fish to clean.
Oh yeah, you're going home with something every day.
I know you don't like to use the bobber, but I just, there's a nice one right there. I could not get the feel that you have, and I'm going to admit that to the folks at home. It's a lot. You got to move that real slow and be ready for the bite. But look at that. Is that 8?
Yeah, that's 8.
Yeah,
nice, I mean, tall 8-incher.
Just gorgeous fish. I mean, seriously, but I couldn't get the feel of that.
But this is working great for you.
Yeah,
I'll definitely be using it.
Well, you
tomorrow.
cast the bobber and just kind of let it drift down with the current. This one feels pretty good. Ooh, now there is a bluegill. Now you're telling me that this is about 8.5? Ooh, look at this. Let's pull these up
together. That's probably
together.
about the same.
Seriously, look at the size of those gills. And, you know, I want to ask, too, you know, folks come out and fish with you. You can do a half day or a full day, right?
Yeah, half day or full day. And, you know, if we catch a limit of these, we're not done when we get a limit. You're going to get your time, full 5 hours, 8 hours, whatever you're paying for.
Well, I can see getting the limit is pretty easy. And do you have any openings come out of them in August?
We do. I have openings at the end of August and then September, October, November, which are great months to be out here.
And those are perch months.
Yeah, perch. We can do bluegills too, but great for perch and
hold those
walleye.
up together. Aren't those beautiful fish? Folks, it's time now to announce this week's winners of the Fleet Farm John Gillespie's Waters and Woods 2022 Fishing Contest.
Jason Hansen of Waukesha, Wisconsin caught this 20.5-inch smallmouth bass on Big St. Germain using a plastic. Kendra Hamill of Cato, Wisconsin caught this 48-inch northern pike in Canada using dead bait. Dan Schutt of Custer, Wisconsin caught this 38-inch steelhead on Lake Michigan using a spawn sack. Brett Nauman of Kiel, Wisconsin caught this 30-inch walleye on the Bay of Green Bay using a flicker minnow. And this week's first kid winner is Harper Niehausen of Wales, Wisconsin caught this 11-inch bluegill on Red Cedar Lake using a worm. And G-Man Lore of Blue Earth, Minnesota caught this 29-inch walleye on Lake Pepin using a crankbait. Each week, I shop online at fleetfarm.com to check out the latest deals. This week, save $100 on the Bighorn Greystone Pellet Grill on sale for $269.99. And save 25% on the Fleet Farm Reversible Deluxe Field Point Target on sale for $29.99.
Yeah, that is fun, man. Look at that. Look at the colors on these fish are so darn pretty. And, you know, we talked about it earlier with the bobber deal, but sometimes when you use a little jig with a little bit of color, that makes a difference too, Vince?
Yeah, especially in the stained water here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty fish. It takes me back to my youth. It really does. Let's see this one here. This one feels pretty darn good. And, yeah, they're all keepers, you know, really. I mean, take a look at this, folks. Now that's another 8 there?
That's over 8, John.
And you know, the neat thing is we talked about earlier, folks, a couple weeks from now, Vince will be on the perch, and theoretically, you could come here and catch your 15 bluegills and then go for perch.
Yeah, absolutely, John. And a lot of days we do end up doing that, or we'll start with perch and then go for bluegills afterward.
And the perch, when you get into August, September, they're shallow?
Yeah, we're going to be in 5 foot of water or less, so it's a super easy bite, just like this. Easy for kids, people with not much experience, anybody.
Here we go. This is a bluegill. This is a giant. Oh, no, nice. There you go. Yeah. Whoa. I mean, they're just the perfect eating size fish, folks, and that was kind of neat. That was actually sitting right on top of the rocks, right on top of the wing dam, you know? And that's a 15-incher there. But what we've learned today, Vince, is these wing dams are something that, I mean, if a guy doesn't want to hire a guide, it's a good place to start on the Mississippi on any of the pools, right?
Yeah, wing dams in general in summertime are going to have fish on them, or some wing dams will, some wing dams won't.
Another one back there?
Another one. Another good one.
Now, I can't explain to the folks how easy this is. It really is, isn't it, Vince?
We've definitely been on tougher bites, John.
Yeah, no kidding. But and this will be available the rest of the summer.
Yeah, rest of the year till winter. Same thing next summer.
Okay. And we moved to a wing dam that you said is a little bit deeper.
Yep. Seems like these fish on the shallower wing dams got a little negative. You know, it's flat, calm, and sunny out here, but
well, I'll tell you what, yeah, Vince, this has been an awesome day. And, you know, you and I both love to fish for big fish, the bay, and a lot of different places. But there's a place for this type of fishing. People, it's so enjoyable.
It is enjoyable. I love it. I know you love it.
But I mean, you know, you don't always have to catch trophies. Come out here and have action like this is a lot of fun.
Yep, and this is what everybody grew up doing. We all love it. Right under the boat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. look at that one.
Yeah, what is that one about?
That's really close to 8 if he's not 8. Beautiful
And you know what?
colors.
For folks that haven't been up here to the La Crosse area, it's really an easy drive from Milwaukee, Chicago, Madison. You know, it's a one-day deal, right?
Yeah, real easy drive to get up here.
And the beauty of the river is pretty neat too.
Yeah, this area is beautiful. It's probably, in my opinion, the prettiest part of Wisconsin. And
I mean, you got bluffs and obviously the river itself.
Yep.
It is pretty.
in fall with the color change, it's really beautiful out here.
Ooh, this one was right next to the boat, you know? And,
oh yeah,
you know, folks, I'm so glad I met Vince, because this area of the Mississippi River is, like we talked about the ice before, but this area, whoa, this area of the river is so good year round. That's the neat thing, is every day you come out all season long and catch something, right?
Yeah, and there's always something biting out here. You know, most times of the year we can get into these. And
now, as we get into, you know, August and September, that's when you kind of switch gears to the big perch.
Yep. It's about time for me to go check some spots for them. I think they're going to be there. I just haven't had time to go do it.
Yeah, that perch fishing in early fall, during the fall, can be awesome.
Oh yeah, they're so big and strong, and I love fishing for them.
Vince Moldenhauer guides the Mississippi River on a daily basis. For more information, give Vince a call. That phone number is 414-791-5534. 791-5534.
How did you think this boat handled big water on Lake Superior?
Oh, it handled it amazing. I mean, we had 2 to 3 footers at times, and you just glided right over the top of them. You wouldn't even feel the bumps. You could have swore it was dead calm out there.
What did you think about having that many people in the boat and the fishability?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, everybody can spread out. You can have a couple in the front, a few people in the back. Nobody's worrying about hooking each other. And everybody has their own space, and you got plenty of space for your fishing equipment.
What did you think of the flooring?
I love the flooring. It's easy to fish at. It's easy on your feet. We have fish slime a lot, especially when we're catching pike. It's easy to clean. That's what I love most about it.
On that 2-inch hyper hammer, look at that. This bait has 3 super unique features. The built-in glass rattle. It's a play off the Google Eye jig series that's been phenomenal for open water walleyes, incorporating it now in a jigging minnow for ice fishing and open water. The brass slider, which is the hammer in the middle that slides back and forth, so you have a glass rattle and a hammer pin going back and forth, making 2 different types of unique noises. And then the third feature, which is the most unique, is a soft tail that rotates up and down to give it 2 different types of actions. And again, you can change out that tail to a whole bunch of different colors.
Oh, Pete, I'm getting too old for this. So, John, you haven't heard of Brian's Custom Steps? Oh, Pete, those are awesome. How can I get a set? Yeah, I love these big no-slip platforms, and they're made right here in Wisconsin. For more information on Brian's Custom Steps, call 920-315-0333.
Feels like another good one.
Oh, well, we could do this all day long. But hey, we got to hit the road, buddy. And again, you figure we caught what, 50, 75 fish in a half a day?
I bet all is 70, 75. We caught a ton of these bluegills today.
Yeah, thanks, Vince. And folks, that is our show for today. Please join us next week. I don't know where we're going to fish at. We'll find a place somewhere. Until then, I'm John Gillespie, hoping to see you enjoying John Gillespie's Waters and Woods.